What's good, YouTube?
Hey, what up, YouTube?
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night. And however and whenever you're watching this, thank you for spending the time because time is expensive.
Thank you
And,
very much.
Yep. And this is a show where we feel
Now, we hope that this week is better than your last week.
And speaking of weeks, what's sliding through today on the board? Lee Weeks himself.
Mr. Weeks.
And while we're looking into it, because he's a modern master, and agree or disagree, his work really speaks for itself. And I really like these books, Modern Masters, published by Tomorrow Publishing. They just really have that input and timestamp of these artists' career and their mindset and where they were.
Yes.
And I'm pretty, there's definitely updated interviews today you can find on the beautiful world of the internet. But it's just, like I said, it's a good timestamp to see where his mindset was and how he grew throughout his career.
Like a documentary in book form.
Yeah, definitely.
Right.
I love documentaries.
I love them.
So, in Lee Weeks was one of those artists of amalgamations that we inspired to. We picked up a lot of his, Daredevils, and, not knowing that it was Lee Weeks drawing those early Daredevils.
Yeah, inspired just because we love Daredevil.
Yeah,
Daredevil.
And then when we got into it and really started appreciating the creators behind, these, modern masterworks, finally looking at those credits and, finally recognizing Lee Weeks.
Yeah. Full circle, we got his book.
Yeah, definitely. And, diving in it today, there he goes, signing his name, how he signs all his work. So I get the time.
Contents of weeks. Week 1.
Week 1, week 2, week
Hell
3.
Yeah. So I guess I take it he was born in Maine.
Born and raised. Yeah. You can only imagine during this time where he would be.
Yeah.
I don't know where he currently is, but.
So they have his education, how he breaks in, breaking out.
What? Why you want to break out?
And then picks up the gauntlet. And reinvents, maybe rebirth. Let's slice into this book.
Sneak.
Alright.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I don't know who the character is, but
Yeah, I forget. He made an appearance in Captain Marvel.
Yeah.
The costume, at least.
Right, like green
and gray, silver, yeah.
So it came out. See what the date?
Right here. 08 and 08. So
Captain Marvel. So it was what, maybe during the
Secret War? Secret Invasion.
Secret Invasion. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, we haven't seen that show, so we don't know.
Comment below. Let us know if you've seen it. And if you haven't seen it and you rather read the books, let us know.
Yeah. It's pretty cool. Pencils. It's like he's playing the Kirby Crackle without the inks.
Why are you laughing?
He did this yesterday.
It was yesterday.
It's yesterday's sketch, warm up sketch. And then this is when he gets into it. Alright, what do we got here?
Warm up sketch.
And then he gets into the nitty gritty right here.
Yeah, but wait, this is what, a surviving piece from his childhood of what, 67?
Yeah, he was only 4.
Oh, wow. So, I think that's always cool to have an archive of your old drawings and as a kid, just really seeing how you progress throughout the years.
Yeah.
And I just really wished I had my drawings, but, it is what it is.
Yeah.
It never stopped anyways.
It's cool.
And, but yeah, it's, so his beautiful, small town of Maine, it looks.
Sometimes he called it Mayberry North. And those who don't know where Mayberry is from, Andy Griffith show.
Wow.
And tell MB she better have my apple pie. I think that was from White Man Can't Jump, I think.
Wow. You pulled that reference. Alright. This must be his dad, right? It seems like. Oh, for a Mother's Day gift. That's nice.
Man, that's pretty good.
Wow. So yeah, see, from that to that, it's like, man, just never stop drawing. You just never know. Never know where it'll take you.
It's pretty good.
Yeah.
That's a pretty good Spider-Man.
Oh, that's cool. So in comics, he looks up to and studies off masters such as, like, of course, Kirby. You know, seeing that Kirby crackle. And then, no, not the Captain America. And of course, Joe Kubert, Henry Kniff, Joe Foster, Alex Raymond, Alex Toth, John Buscema, Neil Adams, the great Neil Adams.
Rest in peace.
Rest in peace. Rest in peace, Gene Colan.
Man.
And then, of course, he looked up at Frank Miller and, taking up right after him and on Daredevil. It's like, of course, why not admire his work?
Yeah, storytelling.
Yeah. So, as a little kid, he was introduced to the Kirby Ditko, like, conversation from his older brothers, and, like, they had their own collection. And then he started taking notice of, like, artists doing those comics, like how much we are now. Like, we're finally taking notice.
Yeah,
like,
appreciating the
hard work that they put into this,
the
medium.
Mm-hmm.
So, comics and drawing is like always his main interest as a kid. Just seeing stuff like this, collaborating with his younger brother out of 5.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So the brothers of 5, and they've all loved comics. They've done comics together.
That's pretty cool.
So, like us, sir.
Yes. Continue the legacy. Carry it on.
Right. So, like,
I shit you not, like, these days, when they do layouts for the pros, they just come out looking like this in the beginning. Like, just a detailed idea.
yeah, definitely.
And then you just come up with the barely back.
A rough thumbnail.
Yeah.
It's like, or like a Picasso.
Yeah.
You go back to your childlike mind and just let loose. Don't worry about so much about structure. Right?
Yeah. Just let the mind go.
Mm-hmm. So his 2 older brothers were like diehard collectors, and like while he and his other brothers would like read the secondhand, hand-me-down collecting books, they bought their own off like newsstands and in their neighborhood. Kind of going back to the little small picture of their neighborhood. They had a comic book store called Duck Soup. Yeah,
Duck Soup? Right here, yeah.
Yeah, like a small town. They had like called Duck Soup, and where they got like it's not like a general drugstore within a small town type spot, and they had like a spinner rack and newsstands. Man, it's like, can you imagine just having that spot again? I mean, we grew up on having a spinner rack and seeing a newsstand, but it just wanted to see that again.
I mean, they should bring it back. Spinner racks, that is.
They actually had a copy of Amazing Fantasy 15.
Who did?
They did.
Really?
Yeah, like they're that diehard of a collectors that they had 2 copies, but they had to burn one because of seduction of the innocent during that time.
Oh.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So when they hide the other one, huh? So
their town actually had a book burning because of Frederick Wertham. That's fucking
crazy.
Nuts, man. Spidey number 50, 33, and Fantastic Four number 51 were like his most memorable for him because he distinctly owned them and like didn't get them secondhand. Actually going to the store like I'm gonna back buy my own comic.
With his own money to make his first collection.
Yeah.
It's the one.
And brought me back to my first time buying my first comic.
Yeah, Batman, the annual.
Yeah, Batman annual, and then there was a Hulk, and then Silver Surfer.
Oh yeah.
It's first 3 comics I ever bought off the rack. Just can really admire just how he studies and what he studies.
So arm hand gestures.
It's cool.
Yeah.
I just kind of like what Tom McFarlane says in his interviews. You know, I just study body parts little by little,
Yeah.
and how they all connect.
Mm-hmm. Section by section.
Yeah.
Like a week each. It's pretty good. It's good pencils.
Kind of like Andy Bourdain, but it's not though. I'm guessing it's somebody.
Favorite actors, Spencer Tracy.
Way before our time. Not familiar. Sorry. Later on, in Fantastic Four, number 112 was one of that stuck out the most because of John Buscema's art. You know, also the Sinister Six story and the death of Gwen Stacy. And like in 3rd grade, Lee did what he considers his original material by drawing some strips on copy paper.
My Xerox.
And folded them into a little book, so much like a zine or a mini comic.
And then staple it.
Yeah. So his older brother Mark made a bunch of copies at his school and sold them for like 3 cents a piece.
Oh, that's cool.
Right. So he was like
The start of Ashcan.
right.
For real.
Vaguely, he vaguely remembers, but 2 or 3 of the stories in there due to like possible copyright infringement of those books.
That he was making.
Yeah, but it had a underdog story in it. But others were like quite simple stories about track race and seesawing. But Lee found it like to be fun to do comics with his little brother Dean because of his neat coloring. Yeah, Dean. Like on top of that, he kept learning to draw by copying anything that interested him. In 1st grade, he copied an image from the Weekly Reader of a
Harvest season drawing.
Yeah, so like I'm pretty sure like a landscape type.
Oh. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So and it's like a teacher at his school notices his schoolwork.
Oh, really?
And, hey, speaking of.
Yes. Does anybody out there recognize this? Comment below, let us know, because we have a pillowcase.
The actual pillowcase. We had the bed cover too, but I don't know where that
blanket.
went. Yeah, I don't know where that went. Yeah, Lee Weeks. We've been sleeping on your artwork for years.
Man, we didn't even know.
Yeah, I mean that's pretty cool. That little sketch becomes that whole thing.
Please.
I mean, you're just missing Jubilee right there. That's savage.
And Psylocke.
Right. I mean,
Yeah.
what they put Psylocke? Oh no, not
Oh,
yet.
they took out Psylocke and Jubilee. They put Wolverine.
Instead.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I mean, not cool, but it's like they changed it.
Maybe fans were more of Rogue fan.
That'd be cool if it was on another pillowcase.
Oh,
Right.
that's right. So this is the last surviving.
It's pretty cool. Yeah, if anybody has this, let us know.
Yeah. If you've been sleeping on his artwork too.
Man, don't lie. It's okay.
Don't worry.
We still have ours.
Don't lie. You're sleeping on it right now.
Yeah. I love Daredevil. I like now knowing who it was back in the days. Collecting, I didn't know, but then now it's like you can appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely.
And he doesn't. The way he draws the figure doesn't make him too muscular. It's well proportioned.
I mean, if you didn't have that confidence as a kid, where would that take him? Obviously, to this day, continue to fine tune his work, but I mean, you can really admire it.
His life drawings, very nice. Oh, it's a good Reagan.
Oh hell yeah!
That's pretty good.
You know, it's like having his older brothers be artists themselves. You know, Lee admired their work as artists, so you know that made him keep drawing.
Inspired.
Yeah, and like even his brother's pipe dreams of working for the big two, especially finding out that Jim Shooter breaking in at age 13 and Barry Windsor at age 18 and Joe Kubert at age 11. It's like, how can you not be inspired by that? At that time of Lee Weeks being how old he was, it's like really to know that, like, yeah, well, why not have that drive to do that?
Yeah, that young, man, it's like as if like that's their first job.
To work in comics, how cool is that to have in your resume?
Yeah, and to be in it this long, that long.
So it's like, although he was like kept progressing in art and drawing throughout his like childhood, like once junior high and high school hit, comics wasn't an interest like in it no more. Like he got into sports and other activities, got involved.
Oh yeah.
So it's like, and like during the high school football team, there would be like 2 practices in the morning and afternoon, like double days.
Oh man, 2 a day.
Yeah, 2 a days. That's crazy. Yeah, but I mean, there would be a comic book store that he would go to in between practices nearby, and it would be that Duck Soup store. Going there with his teammates or whatever, his secret comic book friends. It's like, I can't let my teammates know I read comics type thing. Maybe.
Now they're gonna tell the coach and I can't go. Part 3, breaking in. His first work from Marvel was a Vision's 6-page tryout story. Wow.
Speaking of Marvel, he actually purchased the book or copy of How to Draw the Marvel Way. I mean, like all artists, like you had to get one, right? It's like if you're really inspired to, he actually bought a copy.
I wonder what the first edition looks like.
Yeah, right. Like him seeing the original artwork of Captain Marvel #1 by Gene Colan and like Vince Colletta, like really drove him to find any kind of original artwork and to further his progression. It's like that's when once you catch that bug, you want to see every artist that we aspire to with their work and how they do it, how they execute it.
Yeah, their techniques.
Yeah, it's like we're not buying it just because it's a key issue. We wanted to study it.
Yeah.
Like
what can I use or how can I implement down my work?
Right. He claims that the opening of that shop, became like a pivotal event in his life to pursue comics. And if it didn't work, who knows where he would have ended up. And same for us.
It's a pretty good draftsman, right? Like to be a draft, right? Be a drafter.
Man, he really knows, like he shows that he uses the ruler. Yeah, or some, they really eyeball it, So it's like, I mean, it's cool if you can eyeball it. I mean, that's a gift. But use your tools if they're there, right? Yeah. So I mean, before comics, he dreamt of like playing college ball. That dream got cut short because he got into a horrible car accident.
Oh.
Yeah.
Lee
Weeks. He got like a hit and run drunk driver type of thing.
Oh.
I mean, to him, that was like this accident was a blessing in disguise because it drove him to pursue his art career. It's like, I mean, what if he did not get into a car accident and did pursue and get into football, but then got into a greater injury, and it was really too late to pursue art.
Yeah.
So it's like truly, really a blessing in disguise. And it's like for me, it's like I pursued sports, and it's like that's why I didn't really draw as much, but we still collected comics.
For sure.
And it's like collecting comics kept that drive, like that reminder, like, hey, this is what you can do if sports don't work out,
right?
And then that's how I could admire Tom McFarlane, the same way.
Yeah.
It's like he tried to do Major League Baseball. That's like,
he got injured.
Yeah, and didn't work. So look at that guy now. And it's like
multi-millionaire,
right?
Following his dream, just passion,
just drawing art,
That guy. Hey, if you see this, Todd, you're the man.
The weeks, you're the man too.
Yeah, man.
It's
Weekage.
like really aspire to, you know.
Joe's goes to show you're never too old to do art. Comic books at that.
Mm-mm.
Everybody has a story to tell.
Right? I mean, especially coming from a small town that he did, it's like, how often do you really get a scholarship or, you know, get to be known like that? You know, it's really 1 million to 1
At
shot.
art, no less.
No, with sports alone.
Oh, yeah.
Sports coming from a small town. It's like you really got to be name popping. You know, it's like
Gotta be scouted.
so. It's like he knew. It's like I had to have another outlet, and it's like good thing that he had art. You know, comics to pursue.
Right, like that. Having that bond with his brothers.
Like that was like a really good starting point for him. Like he really strongly believes that. And he got to meet Jack Harvey while in like the hospital room. And like Jack Harvey, even offered Lee a spot in his studio, like 8 weeks after he got out of the hospital. So like kind of work in the studio with like one of his idols.
Oh, what a pal!
Right? It's like how often are you gonna meet him in the hospital? So it's like
Fate. That's total destiny right there, man. You're supposed to be a comic book artist. Thank God you didn't play sports.
right. So
There's other things better in store. You know, just when you think, you know.
when all is down, it's like
Right.
just having that faith that something better will come up.
It's just leading you to a better place.
Yeah, for sure.
It's crazy.
So it's like, you know, then he was working at a pizza joint while attending a fine art school, but then he finally contemplated the passion for comics and dropped out, and then attended the Cupid School. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Papa Joe. Man, look at this pencils, man.
Yeah, that's,
Look how tight it is, and then to inks.
you know, like
I use that.
I wouldn't know how to ink. I would follow it as is, as he has it, but they go solid black.
Yeah.
You know, that's really hard to determine, you know. And then, like, do you want to add your own flair? Do you want to cross-hatch the whole thing, right?
Yeah.
But, like, you're going to ruin, like, the pencil, you know? It's like,
Especially the vibe of the comic.
yeah. So that's really hard, you know, as an inker, you know, what to determine. You know, sometimes maybe just knowing that's this tight, maybe go ahead and just throw it in Photoshop and just move the bar and just, because look, it's already tight already.
I'm pretty sure you use a ruler for this.
Yeah.
And then ink.
Mm-hmm.
That's just too.
It's like, and I think like just having still the pencils be there really just shows the life behind it. You know what I mean? Because when you add ink, you do get that other inker's or that person's perspective.
Yeah.
You know.
It's like two artists on one.
Yeah.
In one book.
And so you just lose the original line art.
That's why like it's kind of hard for me to just ink stuff, or at least my own stuff. 'Cause I just like the way pencils are. It looks cool.
And you know, there are been books out there where they just print it as is, where it's solid pencils. You know, it's like, I don't know what's wrong with that.
Yeah, like this. Like take a book like this.
Right? It's like
Pretty
it's,
cool.
it's solid already. Like, why you need to ink it?
Yeah, it just looks like a filter, but it's real pencils.
Right?
And look at the way that light comes out.
Man, it's like, see, even with how are you going to re-ink that? You know, without losing that effect.
Right? How do you even get that effect from pencils? See, that's the technique.
Right?
You know
Without,
what I mean?
without going to digital.
Yes.
Right? That's good.
That's fucking good.
Right?
Comics 101, guys.
1 weeks. Keyword's cool.
And then look, this is so noir, like the light casting through the blinds.
Nice.
Good job, Mr. Weeks.
I mean, before going to the Cuber school, you know, he did go to a fine art school, and you know, from there, it's like he was able to apply what he learned there into comics. You know, the whole graphic design, composition,
Yeah.
I mean, it's all part of it, and then you're having a storytelling element from the comics. Like, I mean, he got a little culture shock because it's like learning something completely different that's not comics. He really took it to heart to learn abstract, and you know, it trained him to copy a photo or see what's in front of him better, you know, and like to really execute the drawing. And like there was an assignment that he had where it was definitely an abstract piece that I think the assignment was asked for, but he copied a drawing from Jack Kirby, and all the art students were wowed by that. Just like from simple artwork of Jack Kirby, it's like non-comic book artists are wowed by that, you know. So the technique, it's, you know, Jack Kirby was ahead of his times, like bringing abstract art to comics, you know, just seeing his layouts, the Kirby crackle, you know,
the colors that he used,
right,
and like the machinery he would draw. Right, like it's like look like there's so much to take in, but it's like
extreme pop art, you know.
Yeah.
Right. It's like that Warhol before Warhol type, you know.
It's like almost like what Salvador Dali of comics, maybe almost of expressionism and action dynamics and storytelling.
Yeah, after like having connections with Tom Sutton, he really took that leap and got into comics, and you know, leaving that school for that fine art school for a year, and just like left, and then really pursued comics. And, like, he knew he was onto something when comics and graphic design started to marry together. Like, he got a better understanding of how to storytell, and just because of going to graphic design and just utilizing composition, foreground, midground, you know, that's the more important of framing, right?
Yeah, like how to follow, like the eye follow the art, like the story. Yeah.
Exactly. And you can really see how you really applied that graphic design skill, you know, in his work. And it's like maybe not just this, but there, you know, in his Daredevils, his Batman. It's like you really see the beautiful design work that he was able to apply.
That's good. Perspective.
And so it's like he was really like eager to the point where he was sending early submissions to Jim Shooter, you know, 8-page, 10-page stories, but of course would receive rejection letters.
It's pretty cool. It's good, man. It's pretty good, man.
Yeah, and speaking of Gambit, it's like, we can, oh, there it is.
There. Nice.
Ooh. It's really strong though, like really strong pencils. Like again, it's like you don't even, I mean, Klaus Janson inked them and he did it justice, but it's like, what if Klaus did it and he just scanned that in and take it as is, you know? It's like, yeah, clean it up just a little bit by dragging the bars, however, up and down, but it's like just keeping the solid line art.
Man, that's pretty cool.
Right? I mean, for the most part, like, pencils, you know, Klaus did it really justice. But again, it's like, it's really hard as any inker to make such decisions, you know, what to ink. And it's like, it's a whole different entity at that point, it's a whole different art piece from there, you know.
It still kept the weeks in it.
Yeah. You know, I want to see that one piece he also submitted where Green Lantern was eating at Burger King.
Oh.
Yeah, it was like him in line. It's like, you know, it's like the stories you would get today, like, you know, a person eating something, issue talking or whatever.
Yeah.
It's like, you know, he was being humorous with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
some you know, Tarzan.
You know, it's like his family was like already gifted artists, and his dad gave him a copy of Andrew Loomis's like how to draw. One of his how to draw books. And then he didn't pay no mind to it because it was really technical for him to study at that early stage his art career. And then when he got to college, he rebought that same book.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, and then later to learn like, oh, what the hell, I have two now. But I forgot, my dad gave me this. Like, okay, now I have two.
Oh, nice. He had more appreciation for it later on.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, you know, it just goes to shows like how funny fate is just plays a part in like,
It'll find, like, yeah.
you know, how it always finds you.
Yeah, meant to be.
His pencil doubles. Yeah. It's like you really getting like points from like, you know, Don Perlman. Looked at his pages, you know, critiquing him. And then later on that you're gonna meet some Don Perlman. It's like that's another full circle thing. It's like,
man, for real.
Right, get critique them, and later on he's your coworker. Like, hey, Don, remember this? You signed this for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
it's like a glimpse into the future.
you know, he got heartbroken one time by Dick Giordano saying that he couldn't draw. You know, it's like didn't know how to take that, knowing how hard he studies and you know the time he puts in. It's like say, oh, you can't draw. You know, it's like
you're not meant for it.
It's like like either he was probably hating at that time, or it's like really discouraging. Like, no, you can't take my job.
That too, that could be part of it.
You know, it's like,
but it's kind of like hate to meet your idols.
You know. But you know,
I'm disappointed.
It's like, of course, he didn't let that discourage him, and Lee found it a better motivator to get better. And you know, a couple of conventions later, Lee treated Dave Cockrum to lunch at McDonald's, and from there, like, because that's all you could afford, but Dave didn't mind at that time, and of course he had his portfolio, and at that time Dave Cockrum was working on the X-Men story, and they got like a first glimpse of like the pages before print. It's like, oh, how awesome is that? You treated that to lunch, and like you get to see his like sneak peek
of the X-Men, right?
Yeah, like one of the X-Men pieces, X-Men stories. And it's like, man, see, you really gotta admire like his journey of how he really grinded to meet everybody, you know, his idols, to get portfolio review. You know, you hear like how Frank Miller followed Neil Adams in the Baptist, or Tom McFarlane would do the same. It's like Lee Weeks like really went to the extreme. He briefly met John Byrne and Chris Claremont because they were giving a seminar the following day, but he and his friend went to their hotel room, knocked on the door.
Oh, right.
It's like, can you look at my portfolio? He said, just come to the seminar, we'll see it then. But of course he didn't get a personal, like, but because like who opened the door was Chris Claremont. He was expecting John Byrne, but and then it's like, is John Byrne here? It's like, and he pops up behind him. What?
Oh man, that's kind of crazy.
How awesome is that?
Kind of creepy though, but it'd be funny. He opened the door and they're both in robes.
Yeah, so like during his time at the Kubrick School, like he got to meet one of his idols, Al Williamson. You know, the guy from Weird Tales and Weird Science from EC Comics, the creator. Yeah, so he got to meet him like at his studio because the Kubrick School wasn't too far from him.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so you know he got to go up there and just kind of see his studio and just
a little field trip.
Yeah, right. And like full circle, Al Williamson inks him on Daredevil. Right? It's like that's pretty cool. Like a highlight of your art career.
Yeah, it's like icing on the cake, right?
You know, it's like really trying to like paving out your career, and you don't know how it's gonna turn out. And you just keep going.
Yeah, you just keep going. Just keep going, and it'll find you.
Yeah, but like after a year of Kubrick School, Lee felt fried and like couldn't draw anymore, so he dropped out. Right, he dropped out of Kubrick School, and he was like almost at his prime, and he was close enough to he was going to get a job at Marvel, because he was able to go to the editors and show his portfolio, and like it was really close, but he just felt fried and like he just dropped out.
The last minute, huh?
And then he ended up just working at 7-Eleven.
Wow.
Like for a good like 6 months to almost to a year, he just didn't draw and just worked at 7-Eleven.
Yeah, a little recharge, reboot.
Yeah, you kind of just really
Get away from comics.
rethink things. And
So I wonder if he's seen like a spinner rack or comic books in the newsstand.
I mean, he
Right, like I probably read those at least.
Yeah, I mean, he did not stop drawing, but he would just doodle like on back of paper at 7-Eleven, and he would give it for free to customers.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, or little napkins he would give for free. I mean, just to kind of just building that fun for drawing again.
Yeah,
you know. And like he I think he did pick up comics again, but I don't know which one exactly that really kind of gave him that purpose to jump into comics again. Man, it's like, but I mean, good. I mean, I think it's always good that you just take a break and then you just reframe, how you want to draw and things. Because like he really once simplified and like converted to like an Alex Toth and Henry Kniff type drawings, really utilizing like the blacks and foregrounds and really showing what matters. And I think you really see it in his panel work.
Yeah, he's pretty good. Just taking it all.
It's like feeling fried. It's like I totally feel it. Feeling that you need that rebirth, and it's like you're writing from yourself and you don't know how to confront your demons. So he really found his purpose and his faith in God, and diving into self-help books before even touching a comic book again.
Yeah, mental health and all that, right? Getting back in shape.
Yeah. So once he got back into drawing, he hooked up with his friend Tom Field, who's giving him this interview, who's helping him give this interview. They did a story together, which appeared in a horror anthology for Eclipse Comics, which was that
Drive Drunk.
Yeah. Story. So of course Tom Field wrote it and then he drew it out.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, so that was maybe that's like that point for him to confront his demons at that point. Maybe I'll just draw it out now.
Yeah.
Or
instead of keeping it expressed,
or
inside.
Drawing what I've seen and witnessed. It's like, I gotta let it out somehow.
Yeah.
Decompress.
Yeah. It's a self-therapy.
Yeah. So this is a story where...
Damn, that's like... What the tea?
That is nuts.
Wow. Man. That's pretty good. Major every window. Good job, Mr. Weeks.
For only spending a year in Kubrick school and not finishing, huh? That's crazy.
Like, just let him.
So I wonder how that works. So he didn't finish, and yet he's still recognized as one of the best in those advertising Kubrick school. The artist that graduated or artist that were here.
The lists. Yeah.
But he didn't finish, so I was like, okay.
He has a lot of notable works.
I guess that's what.
I think it's backwards now because he made a name for himself but didn't finish. They want to use his name to be like, hey, he came here, he went here. He didn't say that to finish.
Right.
But look what he did.
Right.
So damn, I wish he stayed. Right?
Yeah. That's weird though. But and he teaches there.
Yeah. Weeks.
Yeah. So it's like he does spots there. So.
Oh, there he is, Mr. Weeks.
His family.
He draws an awesome Daredevil. I like his Daredevil.
It's It's because his family and his really drove him to be a better person, because he admitted that he was an angry guy.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he would swear a lot. And then he had a game with them where he was like a swear jar type game.
Yeah.
Like, every time he would swear, he would give him like $2 or something.
Oh.
And like there was a point where he was really finding himself and diving back into his faith. He didn't swear for hella long, and like his kids were like upset because they weren't gaining money no more.
Oh yeah.
Right?
Nice.
So he was less angry with himself, and so you really see that in his work. Like you're more relaxed, and it's like
Zen like.
Yeah, it's like everything just flows nice.
It's like living in the moment, being in the moment.
Right. He found a church like nearby in his hometown that he now like fully committed to going to. Like, I don't know if it's just him and his family or just him. But,
Yeah.
But that's it's good for him that he just finds that positivity in his life.
Hit up the Galleria. As you can tell, you just pencil.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. Loose sketches.
Almost look like his
Oh, he got me to a T.
Nice. He did though. It's missing one app.
Pop. Oh, iguana. That's perfect.
Yeah. Totally can see the Alex Toth.
Ooh, it's cool.
Oh, that's good. Shadow. See, and just scan it in, leave it. Don't even ink it no more.
Totally buy it.
Don't even ink it. It's already good enough. Like it's like already nitty gritty.
Save the color.
You don't even need to color it.
Seems totally random. I wonder if he's an actual. Oh, Flash and Gordon.
Oh, they teamed up? Or it's just a random pin-up piece?
Yeah, it's a decent piece. No, wait. But it says 93.
Yeah, so it's like he really, aside from Alex Toth, Milton Kniff, it's like,
Ooh.
yeah. See, we really got on top of Lee Weeks, like Alex Toth and Milton, like the drawing that noir style, right? It's like it's really something to look into.
Will Eisner.
Oh, especially Will Eisner. Something to really look into.
Bill Eisner.
It's like,
Yeah, totally. Especially John Law and Spirit.
Mm-hmm.
Total
Yeah.
noir. Ooh, it's good. Look like he's fighting the demon bear.
Oh, from X Factor.
New Mutants.
New Mutants, right? Yeah, that's right. It's cool.
It's like the crossover. So I got your back, Hawkman. Stand down. Works.
Just change the background. So bear in the city.
I need to. I'm start incorporating this.
Buildings.
Yeah. So I can't wait to work on the next project.
Yeah. Oh, that's cool.
Like that's why I'm probably reading more.
Especially looking at the old school work where there's no digital.
Yeah, no digital, all pencil.
It's like how they did it, how they executed it just using pencil. That's why Will Eisner just action lines and how his body movement, body expression.
How to draw rain, right? Puddles,
Well, other than Klaus Janson,
bowling.
Bowling, Bowling
The
especially.
way you do the puddle in the rain. Like, how the hell am I
Was
supposed
it-
to draw that? Alan Moore.
For Killing Joke.
Killing Joke.
Yeah.
How the hell am I supposed to draw a puddle of rain?
Yeah, we should look into a Killing Joke story.
Yeah, it's gonna be one of the episodes.
'Cause I mean, it's like, yeah, it's probably an overrated story.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like these awesome writers just give Batman moments, great moments,
Totally.
right? With the characters, is Rogues Gallery,
Yeah.
right? I mean, all these writers are awesome.
Just playing with the toy, how
Yeah,
without breaking it.
and how far you're willing to do with the character. So yeah, it's crazy. Oh, that's cool. FF.
Man, you really see Kubrick influence in the John Buscema. Just that the weight to it.
Mhm.
Yeah, it really adds that old school classic twist to it.
Yeah,
You know?
it's pretty awesome.
It's a question of
I mean, nothing against the Image Boys, because you know, grow up looking at their art, but then you go back and you look at this, it's like, wow, it's a totally different feel, and you can appreciate it more, you know.
like this art really hits differently.
Yeah, it does. It makes you want to get back issues,
It wants you to get better.
Yeah.
It makes you want to get better.
how to incorporate what they use, and not so much digital,
Yeah. And like
all
so,
traditional.
without so much flash. you
Yeah.
know, it's like, and
Look at this, all pencil.
I mean the pose can be better, but it's like just knowing it's all pencil.
Yeah, man, it's
Like-
fucking awesome.
It's like it's not. Of course, it's not that jaded
Mm-hmm.
Tom McFarlane pose, but you
Yeah.
know,
It's a natural pose.
yeah. How would you normally see a person swinging through the city? Maybe,
Yeah. Like on the flag right away.
Yeah, it's like maybe it doesn't always have to be a Tom McFarlane pose. His monster is sick though. It's very tight. Man, look at that Hulk.
Oh, that's cool, but now see that's how you draw.
I draw
Puddle of rain.
quite simply, really.
Mr. Weeks. Awesome.
It's like we're really taking this class.
Yeah.
And just
for
look at
real.
it, look at his art and just see how you can apply it to your own.
You just go through it like more than once, man. A few times.
Right? If you
Wear
know,
out the pages.
if you know how to do the simple breakdown, right, and just go from there without tracing. I mean, yeah, trace maybe to help you find
The muscle memory.
Yeah. like the main points of the body.
Yeshua. Is this a book he did?
I'm not sure. Maybe it was like a brochure he did for his church. A piece for it. I'm not sure, but it's pretty cool.
He just did this piece right here, and then everyone did the text. Wow.
It's like smudged effect, almost.
Yeah.
Right. See,
Or
again,
with a napkin, huh?
Yeah. See, then okay, like as an inker, how would you do that? Like brush, maybe. A dry brush.
From dark to light.
Yeah, so you go do a dry brush.
Yeah. Maybe fine point for that, of course. And then you can just go feather out. Like a Bob Ross.
Right. But
Gloss
see,
it.
yeah. Depending on who the inker is, right? But it's
Yeah.
like, how would you do it?
Nice hair.
Nice flow.
Totally. I can use that.
See, like there's like there's some ways of like that domino eye shadow,
Right.
but the way he does it, while some just does the shape,
Yeah.
like no real like skull structure.
Yeah.
You know, it's just the triangle shape. Now it's
Oh,
you know
yeah.
it kind of looks like it's a domino mask. you know?
Yeah.
But I think at least this with Weeks or any artist that can try to just go with the structure of the
See
skeleton.
the contour, your eye sockets.
You know.
Which, yeah, it's cool. Like Jim Carrey's Riddler.
Oh yeah.
And that's how this on contour.
You just focus on that and just cross hatch edge it out. You
Ooh, Wolverine.
That's really look like you. That really looks like you.
Oh, wait.
Hugh, that's you.
Yeah. See, X-Men already came out.
2008.
Yeah.
So was this? That was for what? New Origins.
Yeah, probably Origins. X3
And they're promoting the Blu-ray box set already.
trilogy. What do you think? Do you like the Batmobile with the Bat shield in the front or without? Where it looks more like a car without. Like, okay, I could say that's a battling ram.
Yeah.
It could be a battling ram.
Right.
I'll take it.
I mean,
Kind of has like the 1960s aesthetic
I
to
was
it.
gonna say that. Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't mind it. You can stylize it a bit, but I'd keep it if I had the job to work on a Batman car.
Make it edgier.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or meaner. Yeah. More intimidating. There you go.
Eyes are really like. I started drawing with eyes first, but it's like I actually saved eyes last. Because that's good though. It's like you're looking into the soul of the person. It's more important. So this, I think, was like an unpublished.
Dennis Quaid.
Oh, I see it. Yeah, totally.
Just like right.
Yeah.
I think he played General Hawk in G.I. Joe.
You could work. You could work then. Yeah.
Let's get the eye patch.
You know, probably work today. Mm-hmm.
They're probably drawing him right now. And the re-release of Ultimates. Oh, that's cool. That's the cap. Drew the turducks.
That's cool. That is.
And these are covers of stuff he's done, yeah?
I don't have a lot of this stuff though. Yeah, very few of his Daredevils.
Probably got random issues.
You know, the random issues of Lee Weeks throughout his career. I mean, yeah, these could probably be future episodes for sure.
Sure.
It's like it's looking into. This is where he write and draws the story. In a 3-parter. So it's like then.
It's a good cover. It's a good story, not bad.
And then like he just finishes off like the 4-part miniseries of Gambit, and then like does like story breakdown. Yeah, I mean, look at his career. It's like you can really admire it and how far he came, and it's like he's still learning and
Still drawing.
yeah, still going. And it's like again, you didn't know those weeks again. You just picked it up.
I'm like, ooh, Daredevil #1. Okay, cool.
Cool. You could pick it up again.
Yeah.
But who knew that he was gonna write and draw the story. So.
And it's funny that I bought one a long time ago in the 90s because of just Daredevil again, and then still bought it just as Daredevil, not knowing the same artist.
It's weeks.
Yeah.
Weeks.
Man.
But it's
Full
like,
circle.
and I feel like we barely scratched the surface of like what else he talked about in here. But if you guys find this, definitely pick it up in the wild. If you're a fan of Lee Weeks, and this is barely scratches the surface of what he's done, and we'll definitely be on the hunt for more of his work. But
Some of you might have some.
yeah, definitely. So if you might have his work,
Check your lock.
yeah. So wherever bin you find him in, if you find any of Lee Weeks' work or you find this book, grab it add it to your collection, and see if you can get inspired by it.
Yeah.
Because we certainly did, and we're applying every bit of information that he has into our own work.
Totally.
Yeah. And we're gonna end this episode with a motivational quote for y'all to go forward with. And this one's by Stephen Covey, and he states, "Be patient with yourself. Self-growth is tender. It's holy ground. There's no greater investment." And it's like that's pretty soothing for the weeks of what he went through. Refinding his faith.
Yeah.
And taking a break from creating, drawing.
Burning out.
Yeah. Like, what if that burnout? That burnout was really a blessing, and on top of that car accident.
Yeah.
And it's like, just reframe and rethink things out.
Reevaluate.
Yeah. What your purpose is and how you value life. And it's like, what if he didn't find his faith again? It's like, where would he been? What if he continued working, like on the Hulk or whatever, But his journey was able to reconnect with faith, or faith found him. However, that gets turned out. But he regrew from that that self growth, and just learning from where he came from, and what he's capable of.
He didn't lose sight of what he loved, and growing up as a kid, he kept it with him.
Right, for sure.
Yeah, it saved him.
Yeah, and
think about it.
Definitely, and
so art saved him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And it's like it gets definitely everything that each of us go through in our own life, in our personal lives, it happened for a reason, and the universe or God, he doesn't put you in those situations for no reason if you can't handle it. And for weeks he found a way, and just simply working at a job at 7-Eleven, and to refine himself as an artist.
I'm glad he came back.
Yeah, for sure. And there's more work that we get to find, but for now we got this, and maybe future episodes you'll dive in with us.
Yes, sir.
So till next time, y'all.
Till next time.
Be good, do good, and
stay good.
Yeah, stay good. But it's trial and error. It's like everyone has the trials and tribulations.
Yeah,
but,
one day at a time.
Yeah. So stay creative.
Stay creative, guys.
And tell your story.
Yes.
Peace.
Peace.